I'll talk to them, and then we'll figure it out together. Load. Loads. Load. 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 Load.
And we are
Load
back
slots.
in Friendsim 2.
Brynja leads the way towards Lenira's room, her hands clenched tightly in front of her. You're not sure exactly what's on her mind, but it's got to be related to everything you just talked about with her. You can hear her muttering as she walks.
I'll talk to them. And then we'll figure it out together. No matter what. As long as we're all together.
Brynja rounds the corner into the room ahead of you, with you still lagging behind by a small margin. You come around the corner to see Brynja standing there, looking at Daria and Lee. It feels intimate, and you don't want to interrupt. They haven't even known. As soon as she steps out, Lenira's head snaps up and her expression.
Oh shoot, I can't
Load. Load. Load.
Right.
Load slot. Brynja leads the way towards Lenira's room.
I'll talk to them.
Her hands clenched
and then we'll
tightly
figure it
in
out no
front
matter
of her.
what. As long as we're all together.
You're not sure exactly what. Brynja rounds the corner into the room ahead of you, with you still lagging behind by a small margin. You come around the corner to see Brynja standing there, looking at Daria and Lenira. The two of them are on that low couch together, heads bent down, talking to each other quietly. It feels intimate, and you don't want to interrupt. They haven't even noticed you or Brynja. Instead of saying anything, Brynja sighs to herself and quietly backs out of the room. As soon as she steps out, Lenira's head snaps up and her expression turns worried all of a sudden.
Brynja?
No, you say, it's just you right now. Brynja was here, but she ducked out. You're not sure where she went. Lenira's face creases with worry and she reaches over and puts a hand on Daria's shoulder.
Daria, thank you.
But you need to go talk to her. Don't worry, I get it.
Back in the hallway, you trail along behind Lenira as she walks down the corridor. Hey, any chance she knows where she's going?
I know exactly where she is.
Lenira leads the way to the nursery, and sure enough Brynja is in there, sitting by the soaper pool and softly petting one of the grubs on the head. It coos and growls softly, but it seems to enjoy the attention overall.
You came to find me.
Of course I came to find you. I'm your Moirail.
My Moirail? Daria's Moirail? Everyone's Moirail!
I know, just something about that sentence.
Is she jealous?
No! It's just that... I don't know, okay?
Brynja, Daria and I talked. For a while. She cares about you. Loves you, even.
Well, I just don't know that I feel the same anymore.
Lenira sighs and looks up at Brynja, meeting her eyes.
And the other thing is?
Lenira trails off and looks over at you nervously, as if she's looking for encouragement. You have a strong feeling you know exactly what she's about to say, what she's about to confess. Might as well, right? You can tell that whatever emotional wall she had up inside, she's already over it.
Brynja, every day I see the kind of person you are. The way that you care so much for others, the way you care about me. But it's not that simple, is it? Because it's more than that. Every day I think, I wish she could see herself how I see her. And I wish that she would look at me the way I look at her. I think I'm in love with you.
It's not a bombastic declaration of passion, but a soft, quiet statement of simple fact. The rush of sweeps of repressed feelings turned into a gentle breeze. Brynja stands up and dusts her skirt off, looking at Lenira.
Lenira, I'm so sorry.
I know you don't feel the same way about me, and that's fine. I never meant to put you on the spot, or make you feel obligated. I just want you to know how I really feel. And after this, we can keep being Moirails, and I won't mention it ever again if you don't want me to.
Brynja crosses the room and takes Lenira's hands in hers, smiling at her.
We're kind of going into like a unskippable, unsavable movie scene thing.
Okay. I didn't want to hurt you. I do care about you. I've always cared about you.
This all feels so much more intimate than you had expected it to. So much more private. Wisely, you decide that it would be a good time to remove yourself from the situation and go back to Daria. After a little while, you find Daria sitting in the common room, leaning forward and propping her head on her hands. When you walk in, she sits up and smiles at you.
Hey, it's the friend-shaped person. What's happening?
Oh. She seems to be in a pretty good mood right now. Daria shrugs.
Got to talk some things out with Lanera. Guess we maybe had more in common than we thought. You know, outside of hate fucking and all of that.
Oh, yeah, of course, you.
I'm messing with you!
You laugh nervously. Of course she is.
I mean, like, not kidding about that last part, but it's still funny.
This time, your face gets very, very red and you look away while Daria laughs again.
So, what ended up happening with those two?
You quickly explain the situation, including Lenera's sudden declaration of love and everything that happened after it. Daria nods approvingly.
No shit!
Self-voicing disabled.
Lanera, wish I'd never said anything. Uh-oh.
Self-voicing enabled. You sit next to Daria and smile, looking out over the common room, watching a few of the grubs wriggling their way along a bookcase. You hear her sigh, letting out a long day's frustration all at once.
Guess you probably didn't figure you'd come back to all of this, huh?
No, you aren't going to bullshit her and say that you did. You've seen a lot of your old friends now, and you've been shot at, gone to court, enjoyed an adventure of high fantasy, and even been attacked by a near god with a crowbar. Daria's eyebrow quirks up at the last one.
Attacked by a what?
You give her the short version of what Scratch is and what he represents to Alternia. Given what you're saying, you think Daria takes it pretty well.
Always felt like something was off about this planet. Never put my finger on it, but there's always something. Whatever ends up happening, we can't keep living in this same loop. You know that, right?
Quietly, you nod, and the conversation lapses back into silence as you watch the grubs a little bit longer. After a few minutes more, you hear the sound of someone approaching from the hallway. You look up to see Brynja walking in, followed closely by Lenera. The two of them are smiling, although Lenera's smile seems to have a hint of melancholy to it.
Hey?
Brynja nods at Daria, but doesn't say anything right away.
We need to talk about what's going on with us.
She gestures at all three of them, and you look at each of your friends in turn. Serious and composed. Passionate and loyal. Rebellious and principled. These are three people that you've grown to admire and respect. Three people that you care about. You realize that you want them to be able to figure this all out. Not because it's a basic prerequisite to them actually listening to you, but because you care about them and you want them all to be happy.
You're right. We do need to talk.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this because I'm sick of bullshit. I'm sick of dancing around the issues. We should never have been mate sprints. You know that, right?
You can see hurt in Brynja's eyes, but she doesn't interrupt, and she doesn't argue.
I care about you a lot, Braun, but I don't love you. Not like that. And deep down in your heart, I don't think you feel the same way about me either. Friends? Absolutely. Moirails? Maybe. But mate sprints?
She shakes her head, and Brynja's face falls, but she's not crying. Instead, she looks resigned to a fact that she's been grappling with for a long time now.
You may have a point.
Daria locks eyes with Lenera for a second and the two of them exchange a brief nod.
And look, you know that Lanera and I aren't red for each other. Which, like, maybe that's gonna make things more complicated? Because honestly, the pitch thing is fun. But I guess my feelings towards her are complicated. I don't want to steal your Moirail away, but... Oh, fuck it! Guess we're pale for each other now. Because what else can happen tonight, right?
She laughs nervously, letting her voice trail off. Finally, once Daria finishes speaking, Brynja looks up at her and smiles.
I understand, actually.
Brynja smiles, softly, and looks back at Lenira, who returns the smile.
Lenira told me about her feelings for me. And while I can't exactly reciprocate them, I do respect them. Additionally, 1, I am still her Moirail and care a great deal about her. 2, I can acknowledge that our feelings for each other might not necessarily match up. 3, this is something we're both willing to work with.
Daria raises an eyebrow and smirks.
Well, at least she finally got it out of her system. The only person who didn't realize she had a huge fucking crush on you was you, I guess.
You want to say something, but, yeah, she's got a point.
So, that's it then?
Guess so. Feel good to get all of that off of your chests?
Yes, actually.
Lenira is smiling shyly and looking back and forth at the others. You know what? You're going to call this one a win. Which is good.
Yeah.
1, Triza.
Which is good because
Save. Next. Save slot. Close. 1.
Let's see what Triza's
1.
saying. Oh, yep.
Select 1 at Real Triza Tethys.
James,
1 at Real Triza Tethys.
Selected.
1.
Okay.
They need to get out.
Oh, what's this? Oh, I missed one.
1.
Daria.
Selected. At Jaded Obstetriatic. At Jaded Obstetriatic. Selected. They need to get out of here. You can see it on Daria's face as soon as the words leave your mouth. She doesn't want to leave. She frowns and shakes her head, looking you over carefully before responding.
Look,
Well,
I need to think about this. I'll be in my respite block.
You're left standing here awkwardly with Lenira and Brynja, feeling a little bit silly. You expected that to all go a lot smoother, especially after the amount of time you've already sunk into sorting through interpersonal drama.
I'll go with you, but only under 3 conditions. 1, you let us take the hatched grubs with us.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. Grubs are small and relatively portable, you should be able to bring them along. And while there aren't exactly mother grubs or loci or anything on your version of Earth, there's definitely at least a couple people who know how to raise them.
2, you convince Daria to leave with us.
Ooh, okay, that one might end up being a little bit harder.
It doesn't matter. I don't want us to be broken apart. If that were okay, we might as well go through Ascension.
Exactly. Brynja's right, you know?
Okay, fine, sure. You'll talk to Daria. But what was the last condition?
3, I need you to try and find out what happened to Kariko. Even if you can't find her, or she's somewhere that you won't be able to get to her, I need you to at least try.
Save slot. Load.
Oh,
Load slot. Load.
What's the other option?
Load slot.
Here is-
1. Triza.
Yep. Just gotta click on this
Sele-
stuff to get out of the
select-
way. Alright.
They need to figure out what's next for the caverns.
What's next? What do you mean?
They can't just sit here and wait to be exiled off-world, but they can't just abandon everyone around them either.
You have an alternative. Do you actually have anything useful to contribute?
What if they used the caverns to aid the rebels? They seem like they're pretty naturally fortified, and they're already effectively breaking, like, dozens of Imperial laws, right? Brynja looks nervous.
I suppose you do have a point.
She doesn't have to respond right away. Give it a little bit, think it over. Daria laughs and shakes her head as she starts to walk out of the common room.
Well, this is fucking stupid. I'm gonna chill in my respite block if anyone needs me.
You're about to head off to talk to Daria, to try to convince her that your amazing plan is, in fact, super brilliant and also very amazing, but as you're walking out of the room, you feel a tug on your sleeve and turn to see Lenira staring at you.
Can we talk? It won't take long.
You and Lenira step out into one of the hallways that runs out from the common room. As soon as you're out of earshot of Brynja, Lenira leans in and starts to cry.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, it's alright. Why don't you head down to her study and you can talk this out, okay? Lenira nods through the tears. 4. In her study, she walks over and sits in one of the overstuffed armchairs along the side of the room, the chair yielding with a soft poof of air as she sits. Self-voicing disabled.
Okay, messages, okay. Of course, they deserve what's coming to them. Nothing vague or ominous about that. Probably better to do this over DM. Okay.
I'm scared, okay? Whatever Brynja does, I'm going to support her, no matter what. But what if she does want to do your plan? To really defy the Empire? We could all be killed.
Ooh. Saving disabled. Well, in that case... Okay, so voicing off. So let's go this one.
What's
and then
next?
When she
You
pulls
have
us
an
up to the thing,
I
we'll save
suppose.
it then.
Can we talk? It won't take long. I don't know what to...
Okay, here we go. First things first, let's see what's... Alright, yeah, agree to that. To looking for Karako.
Self-voicing enabled. You're about to protest that you don't even have an idea of where she might be, but the look in Brynja's eyes stops you. So many times, you chose a path that would be, well, pretty easy, generally speaking. You're not used to having to fight so hard against literally everything to get things done here. It's exhausting.
How do you think we feel? We don't get to decide to stop living in our world when we get tired of it.
Okay. You'll do it. You can't promise you'll be able to find Karako, or bring her back, but...
I just want you to try.
Yeah, you can do that at least. You need to go talk to Daria now. No matter what, there's no way anyone's going anywhere if you don't convince her. Self-voicing disabled.
Okay. Okay, that one. Okay.
Self-voicing enabled. Sure enough, she's back in her room lying on the long plank and staring at a graphic novel that you don't think she's reading even a single word of. As soon as you walk into the room, she stands up and tosses the book down on the long plank.
I think they're trying to say lounge plank, but kind of the same problem I think I have with the words rogue and rouge, where you put the U in the wrong spot, but whatever.
Brynja put you up to this?
Well, kind of. She did say that she wouldn't leave without everyone being on board, but also you wanted to talk to Daria for personal, friendship-related reasons. Daria sighs.
I guess. You here to give me this speech about how much I should be on board with heading over to this great new dimension you made? Or whatever bullshit, right? Thing is, I told you, I don't want to leave, and I mean it.
She doesn't want to abandon everyone to save herself? You stop as soon as you say it. There's something odd about the feeling of saying this out loud, as if you're starting to realize something about yourself that feels distinctly uncomfortable.
Yeah, that. It doesn't feel right. Even if I know I don't make a single fucking bit of difference, it still doesn't feel right.
Daria.
Uh-oh.
Load.
Right.
Load.
I think we were...
Load slot 2, Friday, May 26th, 2023, load. Load.
Yeah.
Load slot. You can't do that. Agree to do it.
Agree to
You're
it.
about to pretend. You're not used to having to fight so
How do you
hard
think
against
we
literal.
feel?
Okay. You'll do it.
I just want you to try.
Yeah, you can. You need to go talk to Daria now. 4. Sure enough, she's back in her room lying on the long plank and self-voicing disabled.
Clear up the messages so we don't get bothered by it all the time. Save it, skim. Alright. Let's see what the other option here is.
You can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do it? You can't even try?
You can hear the disappointment in Lenira's voice. Next to her, Brynja sighs and shakes her head.
I was afraid you'd say that. I had a feeling.
Wait, why? Why was she convinced that you wouldn't want to look for Kariko?
Because, why would you? You have no reason to care about someone you only barely knew.
Now wait one damn minute. You knew Kariko, you saw visions of her and everything. Brynja's staring at you, shaking her head.
Tell me something about her then. Something she liked, or hated, or cared about.
Clowns.
Okay, she liked, hated, cared about. Fuck. You never really got to know her.
I know. So don't act like you understand why this is so important to me.
You need to go talk to Daria now. No matter what, there's no way anyone's go. 4. Sure enough.
Okay, so that's basically the way to lose a point.
Load.
Alright.
Load slot. Load slot. In her study, she walks over and sits in one of the overstuffed arms, self-voicing disabled.
Alright, clear this up. Yada yada.
Self-voicing in a...
I'm scared, okay? Whatever Brynja does, but what if she does want to do your plan? To really defy the Empire? We could all be...
I'm gonna save over this one.
Save slot. Close. Lenira. Why won't she just listen?
Why are you doing this? I told you how I feel.
Right, but she needs to listen to you.
Why? Why would I listen when you keep acting like this? I'm not a wiggler.
Lenira.
No, why would she just listen?
Why won't she just listen? Lenira, why are you doing this? I told you, right, but she needs to. Lenira. Why? Lenira. A look flashes in Lenira's eyes, a look of anger, of a familiar rage. Is she reaching for her knife again? You back away quickly, throwing your hands up to defend yourself.
What?
Her hands are empty. Oh shit, her hands are empty. And all of a sudden, you realize, the look in her eyes isn't anger. Isn't rage. It's hurt.
I don't understand. I thought you were different. I thought you understood me.
Oh no.
Oops.
You think you made a mistake.
But you're not sorry, are you? You're the same as everyone else who looks at me and sees...
A psychopath? Crazy lady? Well, yeah, that's kind of how, Friendsim 1 did your character up. And actually, I think I kind of preferred that one. It was had a bit more character to it, but... Like I said, it seems like they're really trying to tone down a lot of the more extreme personalities, but whatever.
She sniffles loudly and wipes the back of her hand along her newly watering eyes.
A freak! That's all I am to you.
No. That's not true. You're not like that at all. You pride yourself on your broad and versatile friendship skills. On your ability to connect with a wide range of people on a deep and intimate level.
Well, it's not working on me, I guess. What else do I need to do to prove I was serious? How many times do you need me to explain myself? It'll never be good enough, will it?
No, that's not true.
You keep saying that. I really wish you'd stop. Just stop lying to me for once. Please.
Her body language just deflates. She folds in on herself and wraps her hands around herself, hugging her arms tightly against her sides and hunching in, her face downcast.
Can you please just leave me alone?
Misunderstanding.
The council will see you now. Wait, no, this isn't right. You're not supposed to be here. Not this time. You're not dead. No one is dead. No one is even maimed. You should be able to fix this.
No, but yeah, messed up the timeline.
Sylph of Space, sometimes, you can't. What does she mean by that? That's not true. Sylph of Rage, oh please, you don't really get the choice to fix anything. Sylph of Rage, we've already been over this, and the fact that you haven't seemed to catch on is kinda disappointing, actually. It's just that you have a hard time remembering these interactions. Sylph of Rage, you don't have to remember them. Sylph of Space, if you're willing to accept the conceit that these are people, then maybe actually try treating them like people. But aren't there bigger issues here? Doesn't stuff like fighting the Empress matter just a little bit more than some interpersonal drama between a bunch of 20-somethings living underground? Sylph of Space, not if they're so wrapped up in their own personal misery that they can't see those bigger issues. Sylph of Space, people need care too. Yeah, you guess you kinda fucked that one up. Sylph of Rage, not a big deal. That's all part of the plot. Part of the...
So, that's it then?
Guess so. Feel good to get all of that off of your chests?
Well, turn off the...
Self-voicing disabled.
So I'm wondering if I should just carry on from right here, get back to the same thing. Yeah, agree to do that. Oh, shoot. Yeah, oh well.
But what if she does want to do your plan? To really defy the Empire?
Lenira. What's wrong with her?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? I told you how I...
Right, but she needs to listen to you.
Why would I listen? I'm not a wig...
Lenira. What scares her about this?
Everything!
Okay, so I think what scares her about this is...
Everything about this scares me, and why shouldn't it? We support the rebels, and then what? Everyone else ends up dead. So what do you think I'm scared of?
Lenira. She wants you to fix everything. She wants to get her way. Lenira, why are you doing this? Right, but she needs... Lenira. A look flashes in Lenira's...
Okay.
Load.
Choice.
Load slot 3.
But what if she does want to...
Lenira. What scares her about this?
Everything! Everything about this scares me, and why should...
Randomly picks the...
Load slot 3.
But what if...
Lenira. What's her problem? What's wrong with her?
Why are you doing this? I told...
Load slot 3.
But what if she...
Lenira. What's her problem?
Okay, so what's her problem?
Why are you doing this?
Wrong with her? Basically saying the same thing.
But what if she...
Lenira. What scares her about this?
Everything! Everything about this scares me, and why shouldn't it?
Don't want to say
Lenira.
We support the
Everything
rebels?
about this scares me.
Everyone else, and so
why
what do
shouldn't
you
it?
think?
Lenira.
Lenira. She doesn't want to be alone.
She doesn't want to be alone. Lenira swallows heavily and shifts back in place, her eyes quickly darting back and forth.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because it's true, isn't it?
Of course I don't want to be alone. What would I do without them? Without Daria? Without Branya?
The thing about those two, you quickly add. They need her to be strong.
Why are you doing this? I told you how I feel.
Save it. Load.
Oh, that's fine. I get to try the other.
Load slot 3.
But what if she...
Lenira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares me. We support the rebel. Everyone else ends up. So what do you think?
Lynira. She wants you to fix everything. Lynira. She wants to be in charge.
Why are you doing this?
Yep.
Load.
That one would probably
Load.
be a fail.
Load. Load slot 3.
But what if she...
Lynira. Lynira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scare. We support the rebel. Everyone else ends up. So what do you think I'm scared of?
Saving is disabled. Lynira. Lynira. Lynira.
Sure,
she wants you to fix everything.
Why are you doing this?
Yep. Okay, one more option. Then we
load slot 3.
But what if she does?
Lynira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares. We support the rebel. Everyone else ends up. So what do you think?
Lynira. Lynira. She wants to get her way.
Why are you doing this?
Load. Yeah. Load slot 3.
But what if she does want to do?
Lynira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares. We support the rebel. Everyone else. So what do you think?
Lynira. Lynira. She does. Lynira swallows heavily and shifts back in place. Because it's true, isn't it?
Of course I don't want to be alone.
The thing about they want her to be tougher.
Why are you doing this?
Oh shoot.
Load slot 3.
But what if she...
Lynira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares. We support the rebels. Everyone else ends up. So what do you
Lynira. Lynira.
Lynira
Lynira swallows heavily and shifts back. Because it's true.
Of course I don't want to be alone.
The thing about those... No. They care about her.
No, that's probably the right one.
No,
so, no
she's probably right.
Why are you doing this?
Yes.
Load slot 3.
But what if she...
Lynira. Lynira. What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares. We support the rep. Everyone else ends up dead.
Heartburn on this one.
So what do you think?
Lynira. Lynira. Lynira swallows heavily and shifts back. Because it's true, isn't it?
Of course I don't want to be alone.
The thing about those two. They need her to be strong. They care about her.
I know that.
But
I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can be a part of this.
The revolution? Lynira nods quickly, her cheeks streaked with tears.
I don't care what people think about me. I can't be that kind of person. I can't hurt people like that.
Maybe revolution doesn't just mean one thing. Maybe sometimes, it's about caring for the people around us. Maybe, for her, revolution begins.
Okay, so I think they probably tried to change her personality a bit from being a little more psychotic from Friendsim 1 in order for this all to make more sense. So, whatever. Revolution begins. With violence.
Why are you doing this?
Load slot 3.
But what if she...
All this again.
What scares her about this?
Everything about this scares. We support the rebel. Everyone else ends up. So what do you think?
Lynira. Lynira swallows heavily and shifts back in. Because it's true.
Of course I don't want to be alone.
The thing about those... They care about her. But
I don't know if I can do...
The revolution?
I don't care what people think about...
Maybe revolution...
It's probably just going to do the same thing, so...
With an act of kindness. Being scared is normal. After all, you're basically scared all the time and look at you. Lynira smiles at you.
No offense, but maybe that isn't the best example.
Okay, sure, but it's not like she'll have to do this alone. She'll always have the others, and all the other people who are supporting the rebellion. Tagora and Galek, well, sort of. Still Scientesias, with all their contacts in the Legis Corpus. Konya and Skyla, with their military training. Marsti and Kirava, with their, well, that one's complicated, but you feel like you can work with it.
And Ardada with...
Lank, And Wanchi, willing to take a risk when it would be easier to keep running and hiding. And, of course, you.
And Ardata.
Lenira nods thoughtfully.
You're right. Thank you. I should get back to Branya.
Of course. You're going to go talk to Daria first, but you'll be right there.
Okay.
Daria is in her room lying on the long plank, a book sitting open on her chest.
Right, so...
As soon as you walk in, she tosses the book on the floor and sits up.
This seems like a place to call it. Those, I probably could have sped up the going through that, sequence, but whatever. We will get into more of this next time. So, till next time, later.
Save slot 5. Save. Close menu. Main. Save. Are you? Yes. Volume 11.